What's up everyone, and welcome back to Top 5 Central. Competing in any sport gets you all kinds of crazy because you want to be the best, and people will do literally anything to be the best. When it comes to the Olympic Games, that's no different, and a lot of people have been caught using banned substances that you won't believe. So today we're looking at 5 Olympic athletes who got caught cheating. Leave a like on the video if you've ever cheated at something, and comment down below what it is. It's time to come clean. I once used my Apple Watch to ace a few tests, but anyways, let's get right into it. Number 5. Marion Jones. There's no doubt about it, cheating is always bad, but when you're one of the most famous athletes in the world, getting caught can wreck your whole career. Marion Jones was one of America's most famous Olympians, winning 3 gold medals and 2 bronze ones in the 2000 Sydney Olympics. The thing is, it turns out that those great results weren't just down to hard work and dedication, they were also down to a steroid known as the Clear. That's right, Marion took steroids for 2 years starting in 1999, meaning that if she had played fair, she might not have won any medals at all. On the one hand, she was initially told that the steroids were just a nutritional supplement and was basically tricked into taking them by her personal trainer. However, even once she realized what was going on, she didn't fess up, which is why both her and her coach ended up on trial with criminal charges. Should've just stuck to protein shakes and spinach, in my opinion. Number 4. Cameron Vanderburg. When you think of athletes cheating, chances are you're thinking of steroids, or at least some other kind of performance-enhancing drug. That's not the whole story though. Many people cheat without using any kind of substance at all. Instead, they break the rules by being sneaky. Here's some background info. In competitive swimming, there's a moment where everyone pushes off the wall at the same time, and their legs straighten out into an arch. That's completely normal, but if you add some extra power behind that move, you get a kind of kick that can push you faster through the water. Sounds like no big deal, I know, but that extra push can make a major difference, and it's so difficult to detect and police that judges decided to just let it happen. The problem is, people have been pushing that rule as hard as it can go, and adding as many kicks as possible to get the best head start. That caused Cameron Vanderburg some serious problems, because he was caught adding 3 whole kicks to the start of his swim. Now that's already insanely bad, but his swim was a world record breaker, and probably wouldn't have been if he had followed all the rules that others had to. Oops. Number 3. Dora Ratian. Now the thing about this story is, it starts out pretty strange, but it only gets so much weirder the more you learn. The short version is that the German team had a man secretly compete in the women's high jump in 1938 to give them like an extra advantage in the competition. Now that's pretty scandalous already, but the real story is, well, way more complicated. I mean, it did give them an advantage. Dora Ratian's jump got them the gold medal and was also a world record breaker. However, the German team didn't let a man compete on purpose because they didn't actually know he was a man at all, and you know, it's a women's tournament. As a baby, the nurse couldn't tell exactly what gender Dora was, but went with female in the end because she thought it was more likely of the two. Dora was christened as a girl and brought up as one, but the older he got, the more he realized that just wasn't true. He was actually male, but kept living his life as a girl, since that's what it said on his birth certificate after all. He grew up, got really into sports, and ended up making it onto the women's Olympic team, all without his fellow teammates or the German government finding out the truth. Number 2. Ben Johnson. You probably think Olympic races are intense now, but believe me, they've got nothing on the 80s. I mean, in 1988, the 100-meter sprint was one of the most talked about races ever, since 2 arch rivals were about to rematch, and nobody knew what would happen. Basically, it was Lewis versus Johnson and a battle between Canada and the US, and the two were pretty well matched. Like, Lewis had won the gold medal 4 years before, but Johnson had beaten him 6 times out of 7 in their previous races, and even held the world record. No one knew which way the race would go, but Johnson started out a fraction quicker, and that was enough to bag him the gold. Johnson refused to shake Lewis's hand after the race, but apart from that, it seemed like he had won fair and square. People celebrated, the Prime Minister of Canada rang up Johnson to congratulate him personally, and then there was an announcement. Johnson had failed his drug test. He was stripped of his medal and his world record and sent home in disgrace. Not a great day for Canada. Here's our honorable mention. So anyone who's ever seen the Olympics will know that China takes competition seriously, especially when it comes to gymnastics. With that said, in the 2000 Sydney Games, they took things a little too far, and it cost the athlete involved her reputation. Dongfang Zhao was a star. She won bronze in the Sydney Games, as well as bronze in the World Cup, gold in the East Asian Games, and gold in the National Games. However, long after she shattered her thigh and then had stopped competing in 2001, her career ended for a whole other reason. She had said that she was 16 in 2000, the minimum age to compete, but she was actually 14, 2 years too young to even be eligible. Now you'd think the Chinese government would take the blame, right? Well, not exactly. Instead, they shamed her and her family and called the whole thing a conspiracy, making her life so miserable that she fled to New Zealand to teach. In fact, the whole thing caused so much drama that Chinese training centers were investigated, which revealed that young athletes were hung from bars for hours at a time, and sometimes even sat on to keep their legs and arms thin. Yikes. Here's our second honorable mention. I'm sure by now you guys have read about or even watched a ton of rags to riches stories. Well, this is kinda just like that, but just in reverse. Boris Onyshenko was a triple world champion, as well as an Olympic silver medalist, and it pretty much doesn't get better than that. He showed up to the Montreal 1976 Olympic Games, planning to bag another medal, but let's just say it didn't go completely to plan. I mean, his strategy wasn't even to play well, it was to have a special electrical cheating system in his glove. The glove let him squeeze his hand and add points to his score whenever he wanted, without having to land a single strike on his opponent. Sounds genius, I know, but he just wasn't sneaky enough, and his rival noticed that he wasn't actually being hit when Boris got points. He immediately went to the judges who examined his gloves, and bam, he was exposed for everyone to see. Obviously, he was banned from competing, but he was also shamed so hard that he abandoned the sport altogether. He's now a taxi driver in his home city and really doesn't like to talk about his medal-winning past. Number 1. Michelle Smith. Now there's a lot of ways to cheat at your chosen sport, and we've seen plenty on this list, but I think this might be the grossest one yet. I mean, this girl literally manipulated her own urine sample just to win, which out of all the ways to cheat, definitely isn't the most noble. So the question is, why did she do it? And more importantly, how? Well, Michelle Smith was a pretty incredible swimmer with 3 gold medals thanks to her performance in the 1996 Olympics. The thing is, that was pretty late in her career, and up until then, her performance hadn't been that incredible. People were obviously suspicious of how she had improved so quickly and so much, but she had passed all her drug tests with flying colors. In the end, it came out that she had tampered with her urine samples, adding alcohol to mask some kind of performance-enhancing drug. It's, well, pretty gross, but it actually kind of worked. Like, she was allowed to keep her medals since there was no technical proof of what she had actually used. But she was banned from swimming for 4 years though, so it's not like she completely got away with it. And there's a video on the top 5 Olympic athletes who got caught cheating. Click on screen now if you want to check out our video about 5 YouTubers who are permanently banned from the site. You won't believe who's number 1. Besides that, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and comment your favorite sport that you like to play. Hope you all have a good day and keep it here on Top 5 Central.